Joining me now to help me figure out what is happening here is South Carolina Democrat Congressman Jim Clyburn. He is the assistant Democratic leader in the House. Congressman Clyburn, thank you for joining me tonight. There seems to be so much confusion in the House Republican Conference. I'm wondering whether you can tell us your understanding of the situation as it stands right now. Do you believe that Republicans have completely closed the door on the idea of Patrick McHenry being made a more medium-term speaker?
Well, thank you very much for having me. It seems that way, and that's very, very regretful. I do believe that the American people are looking to us for civility, for cooperation, and quite frankly, for compromise. Nobody gets their way all of the time, and we should, as leaders in this great country, demonstrate to the American people that we understand what it is to find common ground and what is required. Now, they are holding on, my Republican friends, to a rule set, we call it the Hastert rule, that you got to have all Republicans on board and not need any Democrats. Well, that's not the country. This country is pretty evenly divided politically, and we ought to complement our work here by reflecting what the country stands for. And so to have a bipartisan path forward would be in keeping with the makeup of the American people at this particular juncture, and I don't know why they're resisting that.
I have my theories about why they don't want to be bipartisan, but I guess I wonder what happens now. Patrick McHenry has said, if you guys want me to do the business of the House without formally investing me with the powers to do that business, which is to say without a vote, I'm not going to do it. I'm quitting. I'm out of here. There is no plan A here, Congressman. There is no plan B, and there is certainly no plan C. What do you think happens next as far as the House ever functioning again?
Well, from what I've been hearing tonight, it seems as if we're going to meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock and there's going to be a vote. Now, I'm told that the vote will be for Speaker, that Jordan will put his name forward again. Well, I'm also told that he's been in the meeting with the 20 or 22 people who voted against him, and they all said they're not going to vote for him. So why would we put the American people through that? Why don't we just do something of a temporary basis on an interim basis? And that's what we need to do. Give Patrick McHenry the authority he needs for the next few months until maybe the end of the year, so that he can get us to doing what we need to do. The president just gave an incredible speech to the American people, showing why he sits in that office and demonstrating the results of the meetings he had while in the war zone. And we've got a president going to the war zone who is now sending to us a request for us to do what we need to do to maintain our relationships with our allies across the world, and also to do what is necessary to assist Israel. And we don't have the wherewithal to get it done. That doesn't make sense. Let's put the people of America above our partisan politics and get this done. And let's revisit politics at a later time.
Given what you just said, I would love your reaction to Kevin McCarthy, who today is blaming Democrats for this dysfunction, saying every single Democrat chose to create this chaos. Your response to that?
Well, you know, I don't know what Kevin is talking about. You may recall the morning after the Democrats gave him more votes than his own Republicans gave him for his bill to keep the government open. That was not our bill. That was his bill. And we gave him more votes for his bill than he got from his own conference. And then he goes on television the next morning blaming Democrats for wanting to shut the government down. For some strange reason, he seemed to be living in another world. Nobody watching the leader of the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, reaching out 2 days ago saying that we will be, are willing to be a part of a temporary solution, bring Patrick McHenry forward, and he demonstrated in all of that he had to say that we Democrats are willing to go with a temporary solution to give them time to get their stuff together. It seemed to me that he ought to be grateful for that, but they seem to be ungrateful.